Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Paul Syng, and today we're making some art. By art, I mean collage. And by collage, I mean composite an image in Adobe Photoshop. So let's dive right into it. I have Unsplash already open. And if you're not aware of the drill, what I like to do when I start these is find some interesting images on the internet and see what's cool, funny, interesting, something that may be inspirational. And then I'll use that to make something cool. So let's try finding something that catches our fancy. I'm gonna look for portraits. Let's look for some portraits. By the way, thank God it's Friday. The weekend is here and the temperatures in Toronto have cooled down. It was raining all day. I personally love this kind of weather. It reminds me of my days in Mumbai and in Kandala, where I studied advertising. All right. Looks like Pexels has already found us some cool looking portraits. So what we can do is actually okay. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to make today. That's the best part. As I find something interesting, I will pivot and move based on that. So let's take a look. Some interesting stuff. Ooh. Oh, this leg looks kind of cool. I wonder how they even thought. That looks like a cool image. Okay. Let's keep going. Ooh, I like this old guy with the fedora. Okay, that looks cool. But I feel like I've already done the guy with the fedora very recently, so we're gonna move past that one. If you have no context as to what I'm saying, I am referring to episode 1, where I created something using a guy in a fedora. Is this like such a fun way to get into the weekend? Is just make some art, relax, unwind. For me, this is purely meditative. This is like my way of unwinding and relaxing and going into the evening. Well, that looks interesting. Okay, let's how about we save this one? There's some potential in this image here. Okay, so what I like to do is every time I do an episode, I have a folder set up for it, and what I'm going to do is create a resources folder where I'm going to drop this image. I like this gas mask. I feel like it's sort of culturally relevant at this point in time. I mean, there's definitely this World War feel vibe to it. I wouldn't be surprised if some guy in Toronto or woman or person is walking around downtown wearing this. Okay, let's keep looking. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. I feel like there's some potential here for sure. So let's download this one also. Save. And finding the right images is probably one of the best parts of making these collages, because not only do I look for an image that I like, but I also get to see other stuff. Like, this is interesting. Somebody put a face mask on Mona Lisa. Ooh, I like this fashion photography stuff, but no, I'm not feeling that today. Not the vibe for today. We're gonna go, probably gonna go a little bit more vintage, old school. Ooh, okay. Actually, one of the really great resources is, I think it was Flickr History Channel Image Archive. Historical images, Flickr, nope. Internet Archive, book images. Is this the one? Ooh. There's some cool looking stuff here as well. Again, I have no plan as to what I'm going to be making today. And hence the first part of this exercise, the first little bit, the first, I would say 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to spend in just looking for a few images to see what's out there. I think I'll start with something with architecture images. That's usually a good spot for me to start. Ooh, okay. It's definitely potential here. I like this one as well, so I'm gonna download this one. This one looks really cool too. This has a interesting vibe to it. And ultimately, like, because we're making a collage, we're gonna be cutting, cropping so many different images. I think, ooh, even this one looks really cool. So let's download this. Maybe we'll do like a piece where we have some sort of something old school meet something contemporary. Actually, I'm not even sure yet what I'm gonna do, but oh, this looks really cool. I could probably update that horizon line, but okay, let's keep going. Oh, that looks cool too. Definitely. It's amazing that people actually go out and click these photographs. They are such an art. The colors, the textures. I mean, whoever fixed these colors, like, wow, the sky looks so clean. Amazing. Ooh, this is very interesting. It's already, I think this already has way too much going on. Maybe I can go with oh, that looks really cool. I'm sure this has been edited in Photoshop. This looks way too clean, but I like the image still. Looks really cool. Okay. Wow, okay. Ooh, this looks cool. Maybe I can use this. Maybe we'll just crop out the staircase and think of what we can do with it. Maybe it looks like something that might work with something else. Okay, so let's download this also. The staircase definitely has potential. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, I actually love this. Oh, that looks so cool. Okay. Let's try Unsplash for a second. Let's see what we can find with athletics. Okay. Let's try portrait of a woman. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but I have a feeling that I want to do something maybe with that staircase that we just downloaded, and potentially a face. I don't know what yet, but okay, cool. Oh, this is a cool image. Okay, let's go with this one. All right, I think I have sufficient images. Now I think it would be time to jump into Photoshop and start playing around and see what I have. And from there, we can figure out what to maybe potentially look for next. It's always a good idea to just start somewhere, and then you sort of get to a point where you're like, well, I could probably build on this somehow. Okay. Now I really like the staircase, so what I'm going to do is okay, there we go. Now the thing is, I only want to keep the staircase. I'm going to get rid of everything else. So I'm going to just very quickly take my selection tool and just mask out all this stuff that I don't like, that I don't need actually. Okay, this is going to be very quick and dirty selection. And then I'm also going to take out this white space on this side. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, and I'm just gonna invert that. Okay, so we've actually gotten rid of the background, and all I have to do is add a layer underneath and you'll see what I mean. Boom. Now we have just the staircase, and I could let's see. Okay, okay, now I'm gonna bring in potentially a different image. All right, this looks kind of interesting. Maybe what we need to do first is, even before we bring in any other image, is maybe even manipulate this one. So first what I'm going to do is turn this into a smart object, and then hit Command T to transform and rotate this potentially. Ooh, I think I have a little bit of a better perspective. Maybe I can even Command T, and let's I think this is actually working a little bit better than and there we go. I'm just going to take the back color and take the eyedropper and just select the color of the wood and drop that into the background for now. Okay. All right. This already looks pretty interesting. What I'm going to do next is just drop in some guides. These are my standard 6x6 guides. And all the guides are doing is basically just helping me kind of look at my composition and see if it's in balance, if anything is off, if I need to move anything. Kind of playing like Tetris. We're playing Tetris. Okay, let's try and bring in one of the other images now. Okay, that was a staircase. I really like this. I don't know how I'm gonna use this right now. Okay. First thing I'm gonna do is, again, just mask out that background because I don't need it. And done. Again, quick and dirty selection. Boom. Mask out the girl. I'm just gonna invert that selection. And then sometimes when you do like these quick selections, it creates like these edges around the mask, which I can just quickly clean up. So I'm going to just take the brush tool, select the mask with the black, and see, my brush is looking good. Whoops. Okay, this is odd. What is... I have definitely done something here. Okay, let's try this. There we go. I think my brush tool was just acting a little funny. There we go. Done. Okay. That is looking clean. I think I might have a little bit of a line here, so I'm gonna delete that. Okay, I'm satisfied. Now we can also turn this woman into a smart object. All right. This is already looking like a very interesting composition. I think we can move some stuff around. Let's see here. If I take her behind this canvas, ooh. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is just increase her size. Okay. And what I'm also going to do is just to, I think I can go and, all right, so here's what I'm thinking. Now, overall, this is kind of coming along. What I want to do is just bend and wrap this part of the staircase a little bit out of the frame, so I have a little bit more space down the middle. So I think the tool for that was, if I remember this correctly, is if I go and let me check here. I think the tool for that was Puppet Warp. Right. Now I can just take this and oops. I have to create nodes, and I should be able to move this. There we go. This is one of the coolest tools in Photoshop. It lets you warp and bend an image. Okay, cannot add. Okay, no worries. We don't want to add a new pin. we just want to move what we already have. Okay. All right. Now I also want to do is normal distort. No, Command Z. I think I might move the top edge. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we have. Okay, I can work with this. The other thing that's kind of happened is that the staircase here is slightly cut off. Maybe I can have this somehow join in the middle, or maybe I could keep it like this. Okay, maybe we just keep it like this. There is definitely some potential in what we have. So I'm just gonna, so now what's happened is because I was warping it a little bit, some of the edges that didn't get cut off have revealed themselves. So I'm just gonna increase the size of this a little bit. Okay, let's see what happens. And the best part about the warp is that I can literally undo it. So if I drop my layers and I just look at these smart filters, I can just toggle it off and it's gone. So it's non-destructible. That is one of the best parts about warps. Okay, there's a little bit of an edge left here. So what I'm going to do is let's just nudge this whole thing over to the right. Okay. I think we've got something going here. Now let's potentially, okay. I see what's happening. Now there's a little bit of an edge in the background there that we can get rid of. This almost feels like a little crown that she's wearing, like a ornament. I wouldn't be surprised if in some Star Wars movie we find an actress, the main protagonist, wearing something similar. Okay, so just to make sure that this area is covered off, what I'm going to do is let's add another layer on top. Select the eyedropper tool, and what I'm going to do is just hit the brush key and just color in this area a little bit, because it's not, this part is actually not even going to be visible in the final graphic. So we're just going to get rid of it and done. Okay, now I can go back. There we go. This is already coming about pretty cool. So let's just save this also. That's something I would highly recommend, is whenever you're working on these composites, InDesign, Illustrator, any software, save your work. Okay. Now let's bring in one more image into the background. Maybe we I think what will look really cool is if there's some birds in the distance in the back. Okay, and maybe there's some sort of a sky element to all this. So let's look for some landscape image and potentially with some birds actually. So let's see what we can find. Landscape, I would say seashore. Actually, wait, I should look for birds flying. Ooh, this has a pretty dramatic effect. Let's download this one as a backup just in case I don't come across anything else that's interesting. Okay. Ooh, this one is, I think, what I was looking for. And this one is a lot of birds, so maybe we'll just save this one too. I think I can use, okay. I think I can work with the one that I just downloaded. So let's try that one. So I'm gonna go shift, place the image with the, where did that one go? Here we go. Now this has just the kind of vibe I was looking for and hoping for. It's amazing when you find, when you're thinking of something and you find the exact image to go in that spot, which is basically our situation right now, is we have, okay. Okay, so I basically want the birds to be, oh wow. These birds actually look like they're mimicking the facial structure. Okay, this is, okay, it's Friday. I'm just blown away. But what I don't like is this annoying tree element down here. Okay, let's turn off all these other layers. Maybe we can, I'm not sure if I should keep it. These are some of the stylistic choices as an artist we must make. They're very tough, very, very tough. It's very stressful. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of it. So what I'm going to do is, let's see here. I am going to mask out. Let's try this. I can actually do a selection, and I can do a, there's a tool here, it's called a clone stamp tool. And because this is a smart object, yeah, so I need to rasterize this actually first in order for this to work. So I'll have to rasterize this. The option is, there it is. So once I rasterize it, then I can actually go ahead and use the clone stamp tool to get rid of this image here. All right, let's go and just quietly get rid of that plant. And like it was never there. Holy shit. Photoshop can be a little creepy sometimes. Okay. Now my selection is so big, so I'm gonna just again hit Alt, make a selection, and then just get rid of this annoying little plant, whatever it is. Make another selection here, and then get rid of this also. And boom. So when a client tells you, could you just like fix this in Photoshop? To a certain extent, we actually can. But because it is an image, there's, well, wow. And it is gone. Okay, let's turn all this back on. I am liking where this is going. What I might want to do next is give this whole thing a bit of a gradient map, which is I didn't want to create a new layer. I wanted to create a new gradient map. So I'm going to go ahead and let's try that out. We're going to go with a, ooh, that looks pretty sick. Screen. Isn't that the most simplest thing? People are like, well, how did you color? It's just, you just applied a gradient map, bro. And what I'm going to do is just to kind of ease off the filter, I'm going to just go 60%. And okay. I think I could maybe add one small element here somewhere. But I feel like this image is already in a very good spot. Maybe we can add some copy. We can add some something like Zen. So let's look for a Zen quote. Okay. This is gonna be fun. I'm curious what a Zen quote's gonna be. Zen quote. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. This is okay. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Let go or be dragged. To seek is to suffer. To seek nothing is bliss. Ooh, this one is good. Let's take this quote. Wise men don't judge when thoughts. Where we are. Nothing. Only the hand that erases. Blah blah blah. Okay, there's a bunch of cool ones in here, but I'm already happy with what I have. So I'm gonna go back into Photoshop. Actually, wait. First, even before I add some text, what I'm gonna do is add a new layer. And okay, let's add this text. Ooh, that is way too big. I'm gonna shrink that down to 100. Turn it to white noise, and then to seek is to suffer. All right. My lighting and tracking need to be adjusted. So let's bump this up to okay, I'm actually happy with this size. I think what I want to do is shrink it down a little bit more. Oh, I forgot that with Photoshop you no longer have to hold down the shift key when you're resizing the objects. Pro tip, because if you're wondering why is your thing getting all wonky, that's probably why. Now I feel like this should actually be somehow let's try. This is Helvetica Noi condensed ultra light. Ooh, dish feels like bliss. Maybe we need to just increase that tracking a little bit. Let's try 0. All right, and the only thing I would want to do is, now there's a lot going on in this image. Now I would probably prefer to rotate this text. Let's try it this way. Almost feels like a music album cover. Let's try here. And that is too big. Let's shrink that down a little bit, just a tad. Okay. And what I also want to do is, let's just double check how this is all lined up. Actually, wait a second. Now that I've made all these decisions, I realize that, well, how is the eye kind of looking at this graphic? You kind of go right into this way. So maybe the text needs to start here and then work its way down from here. So maybe I need to select this again, rotate, and This is going to be a little bit unreadable, so I'm most likely going to have to bump up that weight. So let's try light. Okay, yeah. Light might be better with a smaller size. So I'll go with a 30. 30 might work. Let's try. I somehow feel like this is the spot where the text needs to be. I'm gonna right align this. Let's see what happens when we right align it. Let's remove that dead corner. Okay. Maybe this needs to be even a little bit more smaller, actually. There we go. I think this is what needed to happen. Also, just to make it a little bit more readable, I'm just gonna add some tracking, because when you kind of shrink down a font to that size, it becomes hard to read. So I'm also gonna do an all caps on it. Okay, maybe not the all caps. The all caps is not really working. And apart from reducing that size, what we can also do is increase the tracking, the leading a little bit. I might even go to a slightly higher weight. Yeah. Remove the text and only put seek. Facebook user. Can you tell me your name? Because I can't see your name in the live stream. Whoever that is. That is actually a really good idea. If I put the word just seek, let's just duplicate this layer. That is actually not a bad idea. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off this other layer and go with this anonymous Facebook user and try and use the word seek. Okay. T. All right. Let's bump up that font size just a bit. Ooh. This might be working, my anonymous friend on Facebook. Whoops. 0 is what I wanted. Oh. Ooh, I'm just trying to reduce the tracking here, and it seems to be acting funny. Okay, how about I just do a manual? Okay. And then let's shrink that down. And I think what I might want to do is have it rest at the bottom here. I feel like the eye goes very easily to this corner. So I'm going to just line up this X height with this corner. And ooh, I am liking this vibe. And I feel like that small text could still go. Yeah. If I was to unselect that, and if I still wanted this, I could line it up to the eye here. But it would just have to be a little bit smaller. So let's go with a 0.12, and let's also go with 16 for the leading, and increase that. Ooh, the right way to do this would be hit that tracking to 600 and then change the type to a light and then get rid of those periods at the end of each line. Ooh. Okay, and there we go. And what I'm also gonna do is just hit the, oh yeah, I think I also want to do is make sure that this is sort of lined up. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just rotate this text and have this lined up with this line here, maybe. I think if I just have 2 lines, that would be so much better. Okay, let's try this. How about I, in this version, get rid of Mr. Bodhi here. Oh yeah, this is, now we're talking. Let's line up this text here to sit comfortably with this K here. Okay. And then for the, we can also bring in the guy. Bodhidharma. That does look like that guy's name. Okay. And we're almost done. This is coming. Thank you to Alex. Oh, thanks, Alex. On my stream application, I don't see the names, so I'm gonna just line this up with the X height here, and I think I am happy with what I have. The only thing I'm going to do is, in addition to whatever I have done, in fact, actually, I'm going to, just to make sure that this gutter space lines up, I'm going to just bring this in a little bit. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's not pixel perfect, but all good. All right. And, oh, wait a second. Yeah. Now, the only thing that... Hello, Alex. Alex, thank you for joining the live stream. I am definitely following some of the advice that you've given me. All right, now the only thing that is left for me to do is I'm gonna add some textures to this to just kind of lock in this look a little bit. I am gonna go with my favorite. Ooh, for this one, I think we can do like a plastic wrap look. So let's try that. All right, I think this image deserves some plastic. All right. And all we're gonna do is that plastic layer. If I go, nice. All right. So I think this is coming about pretty cool. The only thing I want to add now is some scratches to this. Again, let's bring in some scratch textures from my kit. This photocopy, grain, noise, film, dust textures. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take this first one here, and that is just going to really lock in that nice look that we're going for. I'm going to bring in some of this more grainy aspects. and just hit screen. Cool. And then just to kind of top things off, I'm gonna just make a composite at the top. We're almost done. This came about pretty fast, actually. I'm gonna add some noise. 8% is usually my favorite, the one that I go to. And looks like we're pretty much done. That's it. I'm gonna end today's live stream right here. Thank you for joining me today. I had a lot of fun making this beautiful collage of this woman. I have no idea who she is, but the quote goes, "To seek is to suffer. To seek nothing is bliss." And what I'll be doing is right after, I am going to be posting this to my Instagram page, which is instagram.com/Paul Syng, PaulSyng. And